Hello, Charlie here from Bunch of Tools, and today we're going to be looking at the game World of Tanks, which is one I've been playing recently that I've rather liked, but I don't know if it's everyone's cup of tea quite yet. Right, we're going to log in now, and we're going to be taken to the garage screen. It's an online game, and you know, it works in a similar way to League of Legends and the like, where you can pay for stuff, but you can also get stuff through playing the game. Now, first thing I'll talk about is the tanks themselves. They are arranged in tiers that go from 1 to 10. Lowest I've got is a 2, which is the Tetrarch here, which is a nice little scout tank. And the highest I've got 3 tier 5s, which is the highest I've got. Panzer IV here, the Stug 3, and the Churchill. Now, there are different types of tanks, which I will talk about now. First up, we've got the light tanks, as seen here, which are generally used as recon vehicles to spot enemy tanks for your team, so that hopefully the rest of your team can blow them up. We've got medium tanks, which are like the Panzer IV and the M3 Lee, which generally are used to flank enemy vehicles and not attack from the front, but support the heavier vehicles. They can generally specialise in a lot of roles. The Panzer IV I've got here is specialised for sniping with that big long cannon of it. So it's got. And then we have heavy tanks as well, like the Churchill. As you can see, they're rather large. They're well armoured. They've got lots of hit points, and they generally pack quite a punch too. These are hard hitters. But they're generally pretty slow as well, so they're vulnerable to being flanked by the lighter mediums. A couple of mediums can take down a heavy on their own. In addition, we've got to those 3 types, which are the tanks, we have 2 other types as well. We've got artillery, which can fire indirectly, so over mountains and stuff you can stick yourself out of harm's way, but are generally slow and very lightly armoured, so are vulnerable to attack by the scout tanks. We've also got tank destroyers like the Stug 3, which are maybe not as manoeuvrable as their tank counterparts and perhaps less well armoured, but they do carry massive guns, which generally are more accurate, and so they can be used in a sniping role. They can camouflage themselves somewhere and snipe from there, well out of harm's way. Now we're going to jump straight into a game. I'm going to do a game with the Panzer IV. Now we're the matchmaker here. As you can see, I'm the highlighted guy down there, Chaza, Reddit 2, that's my clan. Now, as you can see, I'm near the bottom, which means that all the other tanks are better than me, basically. So in this tank, really I want to be in a support role, because there's a lot of big tanks rolling around that probably flatten me in a second. So I'm going to let big guys like the IS-3 take the front, and I'll stay back and hopefully support. Now down the bottom you can see the different ammunition types. We've got armour piercing there, which is the one I've got loaded now, which penetrates quite well, and then high explosive, which does damage even if it doesn't penetrate. But if it does penetrate, which is less likely to do, it does massive damage. Works well on open top vehicles like the Priest over there. Controls are pretty simple. WASD to move around, and then use the mouse to move the turret. As you can see, the turret's pretty slow on this because I've got a bigger cannon installed. I'll wait here and let that IS go. No, it's a Panther go in front of me. As you can see, we've got a massive heavy tank there, the KV-5, leading our charge down this flank. Now our job really will be to stop him getting flanked by smaller tanks. So we're going to go behind him and hopefully help him out. Okay, he's decided that we're going to stay here for a bit, I think, and wait for the enemy to come to us, which is a valid tactic. Now we can zoom into sniper view like that, which represents a first person view. It's good for hitting enemies where it hurts on their weak spots. Rear, the back of the track. If you hit the back of the track, it can stop the enemy moving. It can break their tracks. And there's a lot of different damage. In the bottom left, you'll see all the different damage areas that can be hit. Your different crewmen can be killed. As you can see, I auto-aimed there, which is a bit of a mistake, I think.
Target lost. Nice shot.
Hit him in the turret there. But obviously, he's a better tank than me, and it doesn't do that much damage. As I was saying, down in the bottom left, you can see the 5 icons down the bottom in that bottom left corner are for your different crewmen. They can be injured or even killed in battle. And then the other icons scattered around the tank icon represent the different parts of your tank, which can be damaged by enemy firing. Low there, I can't get a bead on him really. Okay, this seems to have turned into a bit of a sniping contest, which generally doesn't happen too much on the city maps, but on these big open fields it can happen quite a lot. I've got no problem with a sniping match myself though. I mean, my tank's set up as a sniper, I can deal with it. Through games you unlock XP and credits, which can be spent towards upgrading the weapons on your tank, or to buy new tanks entirely.
That one didn't go through.
Right, that's a Tiger 2, which apparently is a lot better than me.
That one didn't go through.
Because I can't do anything to it. That VK301's probably got a better chance than that.
Enemy armor is damaged.
Yep, I've damaged him, but he's gone off he's disappeared. Now this happens quite a lot in World of Tanks. It means that the enemy tank has gone out of your field of view. If someone else spots the tank, then you can generally, you'll be able to see them. But, you know, for the heavier tanks, their field of view is not quite as good, and you can get isolated. This is where the light tanks come in, as you can use them to scout out the enemy tanks for you. I think this Tiger 2 has decided that I'm going to die. So I'm going to move. Oh god, everyone around me is dying. Now, if you look on the left and top right hand sides of the screen, you'll see the list of tanks. And this shows you how many guys are still in the game on your side and whatnot. Oh, now that shows you why it's difficult to play in these high tier games, because there was a Tiger 2 that one-shotted me then. Now you can see the enemy all rolling forward now. Teams are even at the moment if you look at how many are dead, but I think the other team are going to ace this one. They've got the better tanks alive at the moment. Although we are capturing the enemy's base. Now this can throw a spanner in the works if I can find the guy capturing the enemy base. Basically, when you are in this situation where the enemy are all killing all your guys, you can move into the enemy base and capture their base regardless of the amount of tanks you have left. So those are the two winning conditions. You can either capture the enemy base, or you can kill all the enemy's tanks. And this IS-3 has been a bit of an idiot, and he's moved out of the capture zone. I don't know what he's trying to achieve there, but now he's made it blown up, and we're probably going to lose because of him. Oh well. Now as you can see, that was me being dead again. There's another Tiger P here, a bit of artillery, Tiger 2. So we got 3 tanks left, and they have 5. We're pretty outnumbered. And, you know, this game has probably been lost. We'll see this game through to its conclusion. See how it plays out. I think he just took down a guy. Or he moved out of his line of view. Tiger 2 seems to be on the move. Tiger 2's a big, heavy tank. Now he's got several tanks moving up on him now, which could be difficult for him. He needs to take out the Tiger 2 in my opinion, because it's on less health. And it's dead. Now hopefully he can take out that VK before it gets anywhere. He's only on 11% health. And he's been wiped out. We've got 2 guys left, they've got 3. But both of their tanks are high tiers. And that's only a Tiger P. So as I said, I'm sure this game is over now. Now the only good thing about being artillery is you can sometimes survive the round even when the enemy win, because they can't find you, don't get bothered and go and capture instead. Okay, I think we'll exit to the garage now. This game's conclusion is pretty much obvious. Now when your vehicle's still in the battle, you can't obviously go into another game with it, so you'll have to go into a game with another tank. I think that will conclude the video today. I think it's been informative, well I hope it has anyway. If there's anything else you'd like me to cover in future videos, do not hesitate to leave a comment and I will do my best to try and cover it. But please bear in mind I'm not very good at any games really. Right, I think that'll do for today. Right, thank you for watching. This has been Charlie for Bunch of Tools, and this has been World of Tanks.